was fantastic. Oh, we're live. Hey guys, this is Impact Wrestling, the review show. It's the great Grand Poobah, the executive consultant, and Dan the Man. We're going to give our thoughts on the latest episode of Impact Wrestling. It's Impact Wrestling episode 996, and we will give our thoughts after the intro. Intro!
Nice to see we are all prepared. Hey, hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular Review. I am the exec consultant, Grand Poobah over there, who's on mute, is joining us. And, of course, Dan the Man. Impact Wrestling, we're talking about. Just watched the 2 hours ago. Well, we didn't just watch. It was about a half hour ago. But just watched it 2 hours ago. We are so excited. We're going to stuff our face while we're doing this show because that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to turn the reins over to great Grand Poobah, who's first cheering tonight. So, take us through it.
You know, it's funny because apologies because my computer, there's a delay, so that's why I'm always confused. And when they're like, "Hey, we're live," I'm like, "Oh, I knocked down my notes." So that means this episode is going to be all over the place. Guys, real quick before we break down Impact, let's start with you, Dan the Man. Dan the Man, what did you think about Impact tonight? And then we'll give it the floor to you, the executive consultant.
This was not one of their top shows tonight. I felt this was very B to potentially C plus level. A lot to be desired, especially for your go home show to a larger pay-per-view that's coming up. And I think I just expected a little more build. And I mean, it was nice to see Black Taurus get a match. It was nice to see Purrazzo on the card, except has she fallen this far down to where she does not even get her entrance on television anymore? Not a fan of that.
I just want to ask real quick before I head the floor into this, because I don't know what you're eating, but it sounds so yum. What are you having tonight, Dan the Man?
I just polished off some quesadillas, and they were
fire, bro. Fire. You know, it's funny. I want to pull back the curtain a little bit. The executive consultant, he's been trying to get me out there to Florida, and I'm like, cool. I said, executive, do you guys have tacos? And he always gets mad at me when I ask that question.
What do you mean, do we have tacos?
You know what I mean? Like, why? How do you even ask that question?
What does that mean, Poobah? What does that mean?
It means what I'm asking. Do you guys have tacos? I know that when
do you guys have pizza?
That is so offensive. We have the best pizza here, Dan the Man. Dan the Man, don't act like you didn't have we didn't have a little scuffle a few weeks ago when you said you are a Bill.
But I want you to understand. I want you to understand what it felt like to ask that question to us.
I'm offended. I'm hurt right now. I want you to know that.
Hurt. I am hurt. Do you have tacos?
Maybe you chewed a little too hard on that quesadilla. That's why.
Bro, Florida geographically is basically, we are right next to Mexico. We got Cuba that's like 90 some miles away.
The closest state to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is like a hop, skip, and a jump. Do you have tacos?
Well, I just wanted to be sure because I want to hang out with you guys in Florida. It's great. I'm pretty sure it'll be a great time. But I've watched enough NXT to realize people get jumped, and I think it's dangerous out there. So I was just concerned.
Where do people get jumped? Where do people get jumped?
In the NXT parking lot. So I was concerned because I don't know. I think he takes a liking to me, but I know I talk a lot of trash to him because I don't take anything from him because. But let's talk about Impact.
Who gets jumped in the NXT parking lot? You mean the wrestlers jump each other in the NXT parking lot?
I don't know.
They get kidnapped. I know since we stopped going as much, you haven't noticed it. But they get kidnapped in that little walkway when we walk into NXT now in the back area, not the front, the back. Actually, the Performance Center in the front, because all that is actually is Performance Center. Let me tell you, it's actually smaller on the outside than you think.
It is.
Yeah, so it's people get kidnapped all the time, but we'll talk about that on Tuesdays when you and the wrestling doll.
Are we going Sound of Freedom on Unpopular Review?
No. Why would we do that?
Because you just said people getting kidnapped, and I'm just thinking human trafficking, and we're just.
Well, in Florida is the biggest trafficking state in the
country. You want me to come out there?
You think somebody's going to kidnap you and sell you off for drugs?
I'm adorable, yes.
What happened on Impact?
I think you'll be okay.
What happened?
I won't be okay because I am fantastic. But let's talk about some Impact Wrestling. I agreed with what you were saying, Dan. The man. Jeffrey, shout out to Jeffrey. He's a Jack Packer. He's with me. So shout out to him because he's part of the Jack Pack community. Let's get that hashtag going, Jeffrey. Let's talk about Impact. There was a lot of matches going on, but let's switch up the way that we do things. We usually go in order, but let's break down different matches. I know the first match was Deonna Purrazzo against Kaylin King. Hopefully I'm saying her name right.
Keelan King.
Yeah, thank you. See, that's why you're so great, Dan the Man. No thanks to you, guy who's wearing the Stevie Wonder 500. This match
fired this guy.
Are you sticking your middle finger up? I'm
not sticking my middle finger up. I was trying to figure out why I get the Stevie Wonder comment. Yes, you fired me. I went to HR and I got my job back because the show needed me.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Harris.
Go ahead, Terry.
Mr. Harris. Ooh. This gentleman over here had me run up to his job and tried to sly a little hookup with his old little squeeze. Tried to give me his sloppy seconds. And then tried to play it off like, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think. I can't believe that. Sounds like a good idea now that you say this.
I love that he had.
It sounded like it had a lot of impact. Speaking of impact, this match right here was not it. Okay, it wasn't. No, but I'll let you talk about that, Jack.
No, it really wasn't. But I think the right decision that you did here was have Deonna win because she's the one going for the Impact. The Knockouts Championship. So she had to get this win, especially when she took the pinning fall 2 weeks ago, right? In that tag team match. I feel like you made the right call with her winning because you had to build her up. But I do want to ask you guys real quick this question, right? There was this conversation. She had an interview. I don't have the actual vernacular around me, but I'm going to just sum it up in the best way I can. They were talking about her going back to WWE. And I think it was just me and you, Dan, right? We did an episode and we were talking about the possibility of going to either AEW or WWE. How would you guys feel about her going back to WWE?
I don't feel good about that. I don't. They didn't know how to use her then. I don't think they're going to know how to use her now. Quite frankly, their women's division is floundering to begin with. They need a boost. I don't think Deonna Purrazzo is that boost for them. I only think there's one place that Deonna Purrazzo can go, and that's AEW.
What do you think, the executive consultant?
I don't think Deonna Purrazzo belongs anywhere near WWE ring because I don't think she is a big enough fish to be in WWE. I think she's extremely talented and she needs to stay where she is because she got up to WWE. She will be a enhancement talent, so to speak. She will lose a lot of matches because she's not on the level, at least not in their eyes. I mean, I think she's a good talent. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But in their eyes, they don't see her as a Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, or Bayley, anything like that. I'm not sure AEW is actually the place for her either, even though I think AEW really does need a boost in the arm because I think their women's division, especially right now, is lacking and weaker than it's been. But I think in retrospect that the place that she would belong, if she left Impact, I don't think she should leave Impact. But if she were, Ring of Honor, I think would be the place for her. I think Ring of Honor also needs a boost in their women's division. And that's why Ember Moon runs Ramp Shot over there because she doesn't have any competition.
So
Deonna Purrazzo could be that competition.
So here's the thing: she wasn't ROH for a period because she was the ROH champion, and she dropped it to Mercedes, I believe. That's correct. And the thing is, the only problem with Ring of Honor is they don't get a lot of TV time. I guess if you have,
Because they have no
what do
TV.
you know? They're on the internet, right? They have their.
So they have an app, and
Yeah.
it's like it's $10 a month. It's essentially what the WWE Network was,
Sure.
and they show an episode a week, and you have all the old footage as well. So
Okay.
So they tape here. I think they tape a month's worth. Yeah, they tape here.
they do not actually. They
stop?
semi-tape here. They do on occasion, but they tape before and after Collision.
Oh, they do that now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
When did they? Because I'm not familiar with ROH's production. So when did they start doing that?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm asking when did they start doing that? You said that they do it before Collision.
Right.
Probably when
So-
Collision started, they switched over because I know they were taping here.
Well,
But it makes sense to do it.
they did, but
Yeah.
the Dynamite that I went to in South Florida, they did. It was one of the longest ones I've ever been to because they did a Ring of Honor taping for an hour. They did Dynamite for 2 hours. They did Rampage for an hour, and then they did Ring of Honor again for like another hour, 2 hours. It was a
Wow,
long show,
I
and
can imagine.
yeah. So they've been trying to fit all these in for a while, and they were doing everything kind of under one show, and then Collision kind of helped them condense it. And it's a lot easier to go to shows now because you're not there for 5-6 hours.
I did want to say because I wanted to dig. I wanted to put my thoughts into because we were talking about Deonna Purrazzo. So you guys feel like if she was to be, because WWE, look, it's great to be in AEW, it's great to be in Impact, it's great to be in any kind of thing with television, right? But WWE is maybe it's not the end all be all. I'm trying to find the proper vernacular, but you guys feel like. So I ask you guys this because there's a lot of people who were let go from WWE. And I'll use Drew McIntyre, and there's a bunch of names, but I use him as my top name. You guys don't think Deonna Purrazzo is somebody who could be called back and make a difference in this women's division? Because I feel like she has done enough. I don't know, and like other stuff, I just know Impact, so I'm just using Impact as my sheet. But you guys don't think she was somebody who can be called back in NXT, have a good run, and then go to the main roster?
She doesn't need to go to NXT. She doesn't she needs to bypass NXT if she was to go to WWE. She needs to bypass it completely.
And I'm interested in what you said there, right? But I sit here and say I think Drew McIntyre should have bypassed. And granted, NXT, there's a difference between NXT now and what it was. What do you say, 4 or 5 years ago? But Drew went to NXT, and I think he was way above NXT, but they still had him there, and he had a good run. But
he also had a quick run. He wasn't there long.
He did.
But that's the thing. She don't have to be there long.
I don't think either way. She needs to stay as far away from unless they're paying her a zoomer amount of money. She needs to stay as far away from WWE as possible. She needs to stay in Impact Wrestling. That division's built for her. Naomi's not staying there forever. She's actually gone on record saying that she's going back to WWE. So why?
Yeah.
Would you even consider leaving?
See my vision right here. I have a vision for this.
Take the floor.
I'm scared.
Deonna is going to end up leaving Impact, and they will replace Deonna. You can't replace her, but their next big signing will be Lacey Evans.
I think Lacey Evans is going to Impact. I think that's the best move for her.
It is the
but
I think she'll be a star in Impact.
I think she has the capabilities to be a star. I think she always has very good mic work in WWE. I never understood their hot and cold way of using her. Never made sense to me, except for I do know that Charlotte said this argument. I'm playing arguments with people. Charlotte Flair was not her biggest fan. And if Charlotte Flair is not your biggest fan, that's usually hurts you a lot.
Right.
So she will go and she will shine in Impact. And maybe she will even go to AEW. We'll see. But I agree with you. I think Impact is her best bet.
Question, just for me, was Deonna with NWA? Because I feel like we don't talk about NWA.
I do believe we don't talk about NWA yet.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that she was in NWA for a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Like she did a stint or something there, but it wasn't anything huge. Like she made Impact in AEW also.
Right.
So,
Right.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and
fair
I
enough.
think
So,
that's like the beautiful thing right now with almost any other promotion that's not WWE is Impact is working with NJPW. You know, they're going to have this big pay-per-view that's coming up with the multiverse. AEW works with NJPW, and it's fantastic that you have this ability for these promotions that are sending talent back and forth, and we're seeing great content. We're seeing matches we didn't think we'd necessarily get to see, and we're also getting exposure to a more broader audience and some even more mainstream. And I wish WWE played better in that arena to do those things.
I don't. And I see what you're saying, and I think it would be great if they did, but I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint. It does not benefit them to do that. You are the biggest fish by far. You are the biggest fish. You are giving the other company a rub, but you're not getting anything in return of that rub.
You are legitimizing the other company by doing that. I understand that. But let's just hear me out here. Let's just say, because I don't think any of us expect MJF to leave AEW.
No.
But you're going to tell me that if WWE can somehow get an opportunity to get MJF, at least do a couple of feuds in WWE, that they wouldn't be interested in that?
I wouldn't think they'll be interested in it simply because of the fact that, one, it will hurt MJF, right? Because
I don't think anything would hurt MJF.
It will hurt MJF because he's going to be on the losing end of that feud.
What if
WWE is only going to agree to that if their man, which will be LA Knight, goes up on top of MJF. Pause. That's the only way it's going to happen. And like I said, in the end, it doesn't benefit WWE. Unless WWE is burying that company, it does not benefit WWE. But I see what you're saying. But we're going to move on to the next match. We're going to talk about Deonna Purrazzo. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back. We're going to get in some real Impact business. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review. Damian Priest annoys me every single Monday with that shit. He does it every single Monday. He'll be talking, and he'll be like, oh, yeah, we're the most dominant. We run Raw. And if we don't run Raw and you don't believe it, you're going to find out. Rhea says, hey, Dominic's the NXT North American champion. We got all the championships. Yes, we do. And anything we don't have, we're going to get. Now, he doesn't say anything over and over and over again. When he's in the ring, he's backstage, holding the briefcase. I can see it now. He's in the stall taking a piss, right? He's like, oh, you don't want to come out? Don't worry. You will be soon. I don't get it. Stop carrying that briefcase everywhere, man. So annoying.
Nobody cares about your briefcase. It doesn't matter right now.
He's going to come out during this main event. He's going to have that briefcase. Even though Cody, you don't have a championship, guess what I got?
No.
So annoying.
Wow.
You know, not for nothing, I really hate that briefcase. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review, Impact Wrestling Edition. I'm the executive consultant, joined today by Dan the Man and the great Grand Puba. Talking some Impact Wrestling. What's the next thing on the docket, Mr. Puba?
So let's, once again, we want to switch it up. And, you talked about yourself talking about you hate the Money in the Bank briefcase, right?
Can't stand it.
You know who else can't stand it? Finn Balor, because he's been dominated by that. I know I'm going to get yelled at for this, and I don't care. Anytime he grabs it. Did you notice this past Monday he grabbed it? And then, when Damian pushed it in the ring, he couldn't grab it because his fingers are slippery.
Let me tell you how unimpressed I've been with Finn Balor since he's been in the Judgment Day.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, God. This dude been watching Medea. He's oh, God. But go ahead, take the ball.
Finn Balor is a world-class professional wrestler.
Me too.
And you got this man who is supposed to be leading the Judgment Day, and he literally is the most unimportant person in the group.
Yes. Real quick, and shout out to Jeffrey. He's in the chat. Too sweet brother, because he said it's okay, Jack. She's not here. But I was talking with the executive one here, and we were talking about Finn because he has been taking a lot of L's. He has really been taking a lot of L's. And the fun thing, and this is not a raw review, but I'll just end it real quick here with this, is that the whole cool thing about this Judgment Day, I immediately said, "Oh, they're going to kick out Damian Priest." I don't know if I can say that anymore because it's like, oh look, they're going to kick out Damian Priest, but they might kick out Finn because you mentioned earlier Finn don't feel as important in this group. I mean, not for nothing, Finn has been taking a whole lot of L's. He has been getting dominated.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Raw right now, they're not lacking in heels. They're lacking in baby faces.
We're talking about Cody is all 49 states of.
That's
They
one.
have Cody Rhodes. They have Sami Zayn.
Which is constantly, he has the injury thing, but he's still performing. Kevin Owens, he's injured. But beyond that, who do they have?
Ricochet.
Stop it. Who do they have?
I like Ricochet, but I would say Ricochet. But if you're talking about
Seth freaking Rollins,
yeah,
your world champion.
I still put Cody as number one. Seth would be number two.
That's debatable.
Yeah.
That's debatable.
No.
What's not debatable?
Why would it be that? Why would it be
on the
debatable?
Impact Wrestling docket, ladies and gentlemen. What is
You know
next?
what? You're right. I apologize, EC. I apologize. I've been drinking tea. He knows what tea means.
I've been drinking something.
Danny, man, you've been drinking something because you're a Bill Goldberg fan, so don't start with me. Yeah, I will derail this show immediately. Don't do that. The executives know I will do that because he can't fire me. I have an ironclad contract.
Ironclad.
But let's go with this one. There was a triple threat here. I want to make sure I zoom in.
I ran a bit.
Whoa.
Let me see. I was talking about this. Let's go with this. Let's talk about this. Okay, go ahead.
Ironclad contract. How dare you? With the Stevie 500s. But we had a triple threat. I amused myself. I tickled myself. Jeffrey, put that in the chat. I tickled myself, and that didn't sound good.
Don't tickle yourself too hard.
Don't tell me what to do. We had a triple threat. We had Jessica, Savannah, and Killer Kelly in a triple threat. I mean, look, I think that. So I'm assuming here, right? Forgive me because I missed a week of Impact here. And I feel like what they're trying to do is
filler.
Create another contender. It's filler. Thank you. But almost create a number one contender for the Impact Women Impact Tag Team Championship. Yes, thank you. I was blinking. I don't know why. It's T. Killer Kelly gets the win here. What did you guys think about this match? This show is
This show has gone off hard.
Because people make me mad, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, it's not me. It's everyone makes me mad. I'm irritated.
Man, God, what was your question?
I cannot imagine a guy from New York getting irritated.
Me either.
What was the question?
So what do you guys think about this match? I'll start with you, because it's past your
Savannah Thorne is.
You guys have been gay on your knees.
Savannah Thorne is the star here. She's the focus of this match, as she should be, because ultimately in the end, it's going to be her and Giselle Shaw. Right? As she has to get some heat on her. She has to look dominant. It's the classic storyline. She has to get some Diesel Shawn Michaels.
I can see that. I can see the deal.
So she needs to look strong in this match. I'm not exactly sure how effective she was, because as much as I want to like her, she's still very, very, very awkward in the ring to me. But she needs to be the focus that they want to get to go where they're trying to go. Dan the man.
I mean, Killer Kelly is probably the best performer in that match.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Savannah Evans fan. Jessica, I think they got to do a really better job of rebuilding some of these knockouts because they have some good talent in that knockouts division, but it's just I don't know what happened to it. It used to be so good. I think a year or two ago we probably could have said Impact had the best women's division.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would say maybe 8 years ago, maybe, but I wouldn't say.
I would say even 10. Like, if you're talking like,
okay, let's say arguably they had more.
I can't even make that argument. In 2015 on, WWE clearly had a superior women's division. It's been like
well, WWE.
That's why I say like 10 years. That's why I say 10. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, but I mean, WWE put more of an emphasis with doing the Revolution and and really they had a fantastic class when you had the 4 horsewomen, but beyond those 4 horsewomen, which they caught lightning with the bottle, it's been dog crap for the most part.
Disagree. You've had Asuka, you've had Ronda Rousey.
Wait. You saying since now? I'm saying
I'm saying as far as like your actual grown talent, it's been crap. It's been crap. Like Asuka is fantastic, but
Asuka, Alexa
she's
Bliss,
not grown.
Rhea Ripley,
she's not
Bianca Belair. There's so much there that I can't agree with that.
Bianca is new. Bianca's newer.
Alexa
Bianca
Bliss.
overshadowed.
Hold on. I want to understand your argument because this is a great conversation. So for you, what is it? You're talking about new homegrown talent?
Yes.
I feel like you could say Rhea Ripley. I'm sorry, I just felt like I said her name.
Oh no, Rhea and Bianca. Bianca by far is number 1.
I wouldn't even say Raquel. I think she's growing in a way.
Raquel is underrated. Raquel could be on Rhea Ripley level.
Raquel's problem is her charisma.
She struggles with that. But she's not bad. And
I even add Morgan in there. I don't think her wrestling skills are really up there with like an Oscar or something, but she's very loved. She's very likable.
She is.
But it's something that we and if I can just
she can sell.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
No, you were saying he was just adding a point. But go ahead.
No, but I wanted to say because something that we were talking about earlier, because me and the executive, we had a fun conversation, and we were talking about crowd participation. And crowd, you talked about Liv, and Liv gets the crowd, she gets a reaction. And I think that's a huge, important part in wrestling. Because I agree when I grew up in the Attitude Era, everyone liked Rock and Stone Cold. And I'm like, oh, they're cool, but I liked Jericho because I just thought he was the better in-ring worker, personally. So I get what you mean when you say in-ring. Like, there's other people who's going to outshine her. Especially when we talk about Asuka, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, and there's a bunch of other names. I'm sorry, I just can't.
But Killer Kelly is definitely, as Dan said, the best one of these 3, and they need to get back to where they were because if it wasn't for the TNA/Impact's Knockouts division, WWE and AEW might not be using the women's division like they do right now. That all needs to be at the end of the day. That will always be credited to Impact Wrestling. So. Sure. And Trinity said it when she went over there. She said she was over there because she knows about the Knockouts division. She knows about the history. It's a lot of history, more so even than the men. And the men have a lot of history too. That's where you got the AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. We can go through the list on and on. But Impact Wrestling's Knockout division is where it needs to. It needs to get back to where it needs to be. These are the women that they're going to try to build around. I'm not sure these are the right women, but we're going to find out. What are you about to say back up?
I mean because I'm trying to work on it. But like, when you were talking about the Impact thing, I feel like that could be a fun top 5 in the future. Top 5 Impact.
And no problem, because I remember when we did the top 5 TNA people, I said I couldn't include as many women as I wanted to, but we should do that as a separate thing. So I'm all for it. Dan, what are you about to say?
No, I'm just saying, I mean, the Knockouts division needs to have more of an emphasis, but one thing that's really lacked that launched Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it, was the X division. And
X division also.
X division is in the dump right now.
Their X division champion is Leo Rush. I can't say it's in the dump.
You can't say it's not.
I don't know if it's in the dump, but it's not as hot as it used to be.
Correct, but Impact Wrestling as a whole is not as high as it used to be. It's a different time. They were the solid number 2 back in the day, solid number 2, and now they're barely hanging on to number 3. And that's if you don't include Ring of Honor still, and that's if you.
I would if I can just speak. I feel like Impact is above Ring of Honor.
Okay, in this current version, if you count it, then yes.
Yeah.
But I consider Ring of Honor more like NXT to AEW to a certain extent. I wouldn't say it's really necessarily developmental, but I think
that's here's the difference. With NXT, I could watch it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Ring of Honor, you haven't given it a chance to. It might actually be a good show, which we haven't watched.
You know what? That's
NWA Power, I was getting a lot of compliments about from people about a year or so ago. I haven't heard as much about it now. I think they lost a couple wrestlers, and that's the problem you're going to have as an independent promotion anyway. A lot of your top wrestlers, once they get some shining traction, they're going to go to WWE, and actually worse now, they can go to WWE
one of their big guys was one Eli Drake. Yeah.
Who?
I'm talking about NWA.
Eli Drake.
Who's that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
He knows.
All right. LA Knight is what he's known as now.
He's a professional dick. Okay, there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, hopefully, we will stay on focus and stay on track and talk some Impact Wrestling while Ron looks up what we're going to talk about next. Stay with us.
You really going to shoot on my name. They don't know
great reporting skills by my people. Asking the hard-hitting questions. Why Shinsuke? Why? Never saw it coming. So Shinsuke then says, I'm heel in Japanese. How do I know he said I'm heel in Japanese? Because he spoke Japanese for about 45 seconds. Then he finally speaks English, Steven. You know what he says?
No speaking English.
I want world heavyweight title match. Wow. Out here. So Seth comes out dancing. And then he says, hey, if you just want a title shot, why do you just ask? And us is thinking the whole why do you just ask? It's because you're going to get a title shot, I'm going to kick your ass. You name the time and the place, and we're going to do it. Now shake my hand and let them sing my song. Long story short, they shake hands. Shinsuke whispers something in Seth Rollins' ear. Seth looks like he's the most shook he's been since he found out Becky was pregnant some years ago. So he's not paying attention. Shinsuke leaves the ring and he comes right back here. Kinshasa!
What do you think he whispered in his ear?
You have another one coming.
You got another. That's what he said. What if he said, "I'm the baby daddy" in Japanese?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review. That was from the Unpopular Review Wrestling Podcast, which you can watch every single time on this wrestling channel here. Mondays at 10 o'clock p.m. in conjunction with Monday Night Raw, where we talk about WWE, AEW, you name it, wrestling related. We talk about it. Myself, Big Daddy Cool. Right now, we're talking Impact Wrestling. Executive Consultant Dan the Man, Great Grand Poobah. What did you decide we were going to talk about next?
Let's jump into the next match. Let's go with this match. We have. I hope I'm not being made fun of because I'm using my phone. I'm looking at you, the Ray 500s. We have Bully Ray against Tyrus. I'm gonna make sure Black Tyrus. I want to make sure
Black Taurus.
Yeah, thank you. What did you guys think about this match?
You know how I feel about Bully Ray right now. I think he's taking a spot from somebody else. But I understand they're trying to do whatever they can to bring in viewership.
He needs to be there, right? And for the very same reason you're saying. Now, I agree with what you mean when he takes a spot, but however, his veteran knowledge in the backstage is very influential to that talent roster back there. That's one. Two, he does have eyes on the product because he's Bully Ray and people know who he is. And three, he can still go, right? Bully Ray is one of the most underrated mic performers in Impact Wrestling history. Actually, I won't even say underrated. He's one of the best mic performers in Impact Wrestling history for that company. He still knows how to draw heat, unlike a lot of people. So it works. I'm not too familiar enough to speak intelligently on Black Taurus, but the match was okay. I felt like I would have been a little bit more entertained, but the speaking points of the match, as Jeffrey just said, shout out to Jeffrey here, was to get PCO out there, and he did. And I am a fan of PCO. I do not like this stuff I see him do all the time because I think he's a little bit too up there in age, and I'm afraid that something's going to happen to him. But I can't deny the fact that he's entertaining. And I like to see this feud with Bully Ray. I think it has been entertaining. It's been very short so far because it just started. But it works for me. So it did what it had to do, which is build Bully up as a strong character, yet such a strong character that he's somewhat afraid of one PCO. That's what the match wanted to do. That's what your match did. So it gets an A from me because it worked.
Dan the man.
I would like to. I like Bully, but like I said, I would like to see him take more of a here and there type of approach and not be such a fixture in normal television. I want that spot to go to someone else who is deserving on that roster. That's how I feel about him. Black Taurus, I think has been there a long time. He's done a lot in Impact. He's never really had the push that he's kind of needed. Let's see, Black Taurus with Crazy Steve. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why they dropped the whole Black Taurus thing, because he was supposed to be like this big enforcer, and he was, this badass. And I think that what was the name of that faction? He said with Crazy Steve, it was called like the Black Carnival. I don't remember what.
Oh, you were talking about when that circus group?
Yes.
It was like I forget. It began with an M. I don't remember. You're talking about him and oh God, I can't
Havoc. Wasn't Havoc in it, or
no? It wasn't Havoc. It was
Jessica.
No, it was she. She used to manage Britt Baker. I can't think of her name. You know it. You know what name it is.
Well, I think Sue Young was involved in it.
Mm-mm.
No,
you talking about the circus when it was a circus?
Hold on.
She wasn't. Jeffrey's pointing out. Shout out to Jeffrey. He's a Jack Packer. He mentioned DK. That was the group. But what was the name? It was Rebel. Yes.
That's it. Wait.
It was Rebel, right?
Rebel. Maybe my
It's been a long time. It's hard to keep up with all these. But it was Rebel. Shout out to you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Once I heard PK, I was like, "Oh, Rebel!" But carry on.
That's it. Yeah, and I think Decay had a nice little run.
It did.
Yeah, they did. I can't speak it too intelligent on them either because this is back in time where I really wasn't watching like that. But from what I saw of them, they did pretty good work.
They did.
I think you know what it was with DK. It was and I'm laughing when I said DK because I'm a Nintendo player. I'm ready to bust out a DK rap, and you guys don't want to hear me rap because no, I don't need to hear the executive shit because. Why is this guy not consistently fired? Whatever, right? He owns this. But DK was a really cool group. I think it was different. It was different.
It was different.
And I like different.
It was the best comparison I can put to this was it was a dark version to the Oddities.
Oh, that's for you, Chris, because that was in the 1940s.
The Oddities were in the late 1990s.
They were. That was the Attitude Era.
And you knew that already, you smartass.
Yep.
My ass is very smart. Thank you.
Didn't they have like one of the guys from Insane Clown Posse a part of that too?
Insane Clown Posse, yes.
Yes. Look at that. Pooh's looking like he might have been in the Insane Clown Posse over here.
I led them.
Yeah.
I led those mofos. Let's go into the next. Let's go into another match. what do you guys think about Eric Young against Khan? Khan, I do want to say the same because I know one time we reviewed and I said, dude, is this guy just really big and everyone's small and everyone had to remind me like this guy is really big. What did you guys think about Eric Young against Khan? Eric Young got the win over Khan. I'm sorry, I'm blinking on his manager.
This is the WWE reject match.
Ooh. Why don't you take the floor here?
Let's be honest. I mean, Khan came from the Ascension, which they ascended down the card really quick.
Is it the partner? I'm sorry, real quick. Does his partner still wrestle?
What's up?
I'm sorry. Does his partner still wrestle? Because they were a tag team. That's what I'm asking.
They were. I don't even know what happened to the other guy. I know that Khan ended up
Victor.
in Impact. Victor. Yeah. So, I mean, I know he ended up over in Impact, and yeah, this was an Eric Young. Eric Young could not find any footing at all.
Jeffrey is out of the jacket.
I can't say it's a WWE reject match simply because of the fact that the majority of the matches in AEW and Impact are WWE reject matches when you think about it. So I can't really say that. But Eric Young was influential in NXT. He did not do anything on the main roster because he does not hit with a main roster crowd. Connor, same thing. The Ascension was one of the most popular tag teams in the initial run of NXT. When it got to the main roster, they rubbed some people the wrong way, and they were buried from there. Khan is a very large dude. I was thinking that when I saw him in person when I went with this guy up top to an Impact Wrestling taping earlier this year. Yes, this guy up top.
Yeah,
and dragged me out to be a fanboy to an Impact Wrestling event. And we saw Khan, and I was like, wow, he makes me feel small. That's no easy feat, but he made me feel small.
Not really that tall.
The big dude.
He's a big dude.
No, I understand that, but Chris is not really that big.
I'm taller than the average male, but thank you.
Whatever helps you.
Anyway, but that's my opinions on it. The match was okay. I was not enthralled with it. I've never really been enthralled with an Eric Young match, but it was okay. It wasn't bad.
The Eric Young character is not bad. I think it's overplayed. I would much rather see EY go back to his initial character that he first had with Impact when it was more of a fun character.
So you're talking about like 2014? Like 2015, 2014?
Yes.
Never took it seriously.
I get that. But like right now, okay, you might take him a little serious, but it's stale. I need a reboot here of Eric Young.
I don't mind. So it's funny because well, I say funny, but ironic because EC was talking about Eric Young on the main roster. I feel like he didn't get a fair opportunity, and not just him, but I'm talking about what was that group name? Sanity. Mm-hmm. I don't think they had a fair chance on the main roster.
They didn't give him a chance because at that era it was hard. If you didn't click immediately, they took you off, and he didn't click immediately. Like they went out there and they got no reaction.
I mean, let's be honest.
Bad
Nikki
TV.
Cross right now is the only one that really did anything, and is she even really anywhere? I mean,
she is in a feud that's been going on for months that everybody forgets until they say, "Oh yeah, they are doing
this."
Talking
about with her and Candice LeRae.
Correct, her and Candice LeRae. You know why? Because nobody still cares about Nick. And the thing is, and it might have just been too late. It might have been timing. And I can't believe we're talking about WWE again. But Nikki Cross was Nikki ASH, and everybody said, "Just be Nikki Cross. Just be Nikki Cross." She finally was Nikki Cross, and they tried to give her a push, but she still wasn't hitting. And that's a problem. So then they put her in a feud with Candice LeRae to try to help because they thought Candice LeRae was going to hit. But Candice LeRae gets the quietest reaction of everybody on the Monday Night Raw roster. I'm sorry. She's a nice wrestler. She's okay. But she gets no reaction every single time she comes out.
But
I dare you to find a wrestler that comes out on Raw that gets lesser reaction than her. You're
I
not
mean,
gonna-
dude, Johnny Gargano does not get really the hot reactions that we thought
gets
he would
more
have.
of a reaction that who thought
He does.
that
He
who
does.
thought was going who thought Johnny Gargano was going to get a good reaction on Raw or SmackDown. I've been saying for years
I did.
that
I
was
did.
never going to happen.
But I also thought he should have went to AEW, but
he
that
has a
wasn't in
loyalty
the
to
cards.
Triple H because Triple H has done so well for him. But Johnny Gargano should never have left NXT, and I know why, because they did this final push. Everybody out of NXT say, "Hey, you need to go and flounder. You need to go find your way. You can't stay here all the time. You can't stay in college all the time. You got to go out there and get a job. Get a job." So they move all those people out there.
I also think I hear everything you say, and I think you say a lot of valuable things. Dan the Man, not EC, because there was a lot of yelling on the bottom. No, shout out to the EC, because I think you said a lot of things. I know you was born in the 1930s, so you know.
Let's not forget that you are only 4 years younger than me. But okay, go ahead.
Wow, no one needs to hear that. That's not even true. He's lying. But no,
Dan is younger than you.
Huh?
Dan the Man is younger than you.
Dan the Man, you're younger than me? How old are you, sir?
I am 34.
We don't need this young talent here. Get out. We don't need this here.
You need this. You need this.
No, I don't need anything. All I need is rest.
Sounds like a rape coming. All right, go ahead.
What's wrong with this, man? You're ruining the show. This is why you was fired. I don't even know where I was going at. I just wanted to yell.
I don't know. You were talking about Johnny Gargano doesn't get a reaction. Doesn't need a he's Johnny 205 Live. That's where he belongs.
No. I feel like there was a thing I wanted to do with Johnny Gargano, and I really legit forgot because I was distracted by everything here. But and you know what? Nah, I don't even have a thing. So I'm sorry. Lost my thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our last commercial break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up this Impact right here. Stay with us. You're watching. Oh, I put on the wrong. It doesn't matter. I'm going to the other one. Okay, so stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Hello, Dr. Gordon. I want to play a game. Sick bastard. Yes, I'm sick, officer.
There's a way out of here. There's a way out.
I'm sick of it all. We're out of time. Live or die. Make your choice. Jaeger pilots, do you understand?
One way to find out.
That's what I'm talking about.
UPRE, Unpopular Review Entertainment, on that side of the YouTube channel will be showing, well, not be showing, we'll be talking about Saw as we get into our Saw franchise this coming Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. And I know we've been talking about it for a couple weeks, but this Thursday, next Thursday, guaranteed Pacific Rim 2. I won't be on now that I think about it, but we're going to have it. We're going to do it. Pacific Rim 2 this coming Thursday. Let's wrap up our Impact Wrestling show, talk about the last segment, and our thoughts of the show overall. I'm the executive consultant, Dan the Man up top, as well as the great Grand Poobah is now the one stuffing his face. So since he's stuffing his face, did you know what we're talking about next? Are we talking about that main event?
There's only the main event left.
Yes, the main
It's
event
really just
between the
I'm sorry,
Rascals versus
I
Rich
have-
Swann and Sami Callihan, #1 contendership matchup. This match did a great job. Obviously, the best match of the night. No surprise there. But what surprised me was the Rascals picking up the victory at the end. I didn't think they were going to win. I thought it was going to be Sami Callihan. I thought it made more sense for Sami Callihan and Rich Swann to win.
It made no sense for them to win. It's all about the Rascals right now.
The Rascals, who like their spray paint, they use that to cheat and to pick up the victory at the end. Hey, once again, this goes to my theory. When I said, hey, I think right now tag teams are hot. I think tag team division in wrestling overall are hot. The Rascals are a great tag team. And when I was mentioning something, I think last night, I completely forgot about the Rascals. But the Rascals are a great tag team.
Yeah.
Interesting
that's
to see this match
fantastic.
coming up for the
What
tag
made
team
you think
titles.
that?
You said what?
Well, what made you forget that?
The Rascals? Because there's so many tag teams out there. Street Profits, Usos, freaking
you can't
Lucha
count
Brothers,
the Usos at the
FTR,
time.
Young Bucks, even though I'm not a fan of them, the Young Bucks, Aussie Open or whatever the hell they call it. The
Whatever
freaking
the hell they call it. Fantastic.
I mentioned I forgot what I think they're called Aussie Open. Bullet Club what do they
Bullet
call it?
Club Gold,
Silver?
the Gun
No,
Club.
Silver. No,
The
no,
Gun Club is up there. The Acclaim. The Viking Raiders are actually a very good tag team. Alpha Academy is a very good tag team.
okay.
I was talking about the ones that Impact though. Chris Bay and
ABC. They're called ABC.
I think there's just so many
Ace
good
Austin.
tag teams out there. Yes, I
Yeah.
forgot to mention the Rascals, but the Rascals deserves to be put apart. Gallus, the Creed brothers are really good. I don't remember
No!
the Grizzly Young Veterans because I don't remember their team name right now. Are a very good tag
The
team.
Dyad or the Schism. It's Dyad. The Dyad.
Pretty Deadly, one of them's injured right now, but Pretty Deadly, also a very good tag team. There are a lot of good tag teams out there right now. There's not enough championships, believe it or not, AEW. There's not enough
You're
tag teams.
missing one tag team.
I'm missing a lot of tag teams. Which one?
No,
are you
no.
missing?
Can I miss the tag team you're missing? It's the great Grand Poobah and Mike Knox. We are the New Heart Foundation. You messed up.
How bad is it?
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not working towards that. No, don't do that. Because I worked with this man long enough. Like the guy who's wearing Ray Charles 5000 is not going to talk trash to me.
I'm asking a question.
I'm not interested in your question. Follow up. Man up.
I just wanna know- I just
Go
wanna-
ahead. Finish what you're going to say.
Okay.
You know who you did miss though?
Who?
The Lucha Brothers.
I did mention Lucha Brothers.
I didn't hear that, but okay.
I agree with you, Jeff.
What is our finisher? Jeffrey, we have one. It's called Knox Times Bad Finish.
The double
name.
kick
It's
you
a
in the
long
ass.
name.
Did you even notice?
Nah,
You were
can
close.
go-
You
can go-
almost got hit with it. You almost got hit with it. Okay. All right. Go
No,
ahead.
I never got hit with it. The bad guy never misses, baby. Now go ahead. You want to carry this show? Go ahead. You have a strong back.
No, go ahead. Take
carry
us home.
this show.
Take us home. Talk about the end of the match and let's take us
No, I
home.
don't want to talk anymore because I talk too much.
Are you Vic
But
now?
let's talk about this match right here because I'm not going to let the executive. The executive, thank you for being here. Hold on, give me a minute. Yes, thank you. The executive, thank you. Get out. Let's talk to this. No, let's bring him back in because he wanted to be on the show. Shout out to the executive.
I was just drawing up your termination papers, but
Are you curb stomping?
Oh, you terrifying me. Let me hold on. Let's take the floor right here. I can sit here and graffiti the wall and you will rehire me. So, but let's go to the finish here. We had the Sami Zayn. Well, OVA, right, is Ohio over everything. They went against the Rascals. And I agree with the executive, Chris, the executive. I thought this match was good. I thought this was. I do say this is the match of the night. The Rascals are good. They're really great. These guys have great chemistry. I love their finish. Right. I don't know if there's a name for it, so forgive me here. But the move where Weston he goes for like the moonsault, but as he does the moonsault, the other guy push him. I pop for that move because I think that's incredible. But what did you guys think about this match?
The Rascals
We'll
are
start with you,
phenomenal.
man, and then EC, please take the floor.
Wait, EC?
No, Dan, you start the floor, and then we'll go
All right.
to EC.
So the Rascals, I mean, they've always been a great tag team. Trey Miguel has always kind of been the singles competitor out of the Rascals, and then you've had Wesley and and Zach Wentz. And unfortunately, we know what happened there. And, Wesley's carving a name for himself right now as a singles competitor, which, I mean, I've always known he's very talented, but he's actually taking up another level right now to take over as a singles competitor, which I really never looked at him as that way as I did Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel's always been the star of the show. But right now, I think Trey Miguel has a really good thing going with Wentz, and I think they have a very fun tag team that they're bringing back because they play the heel role really well, and they also play the face role really well. So they are a double threat when it comes to that. I think it's the right move to get the Rascals the tag belts, I think, at this point. And I think we're looking at the ascension of Trey Miguel to inevitably become the Impact World Champion.
I pretty much already said what I had to say as far as this match. I thought it was a match of the night by far, and it was very entertaining. And I'm looking to see the next chapter in this feud.
And I think that's pretty much we can say that is the Impact Review Show. We hope that you guys. Sorry, hiccups here, guys. Hiccups, random hiccups. They're awful. But we hope that you guys enjoy this review show. Right now, there is a review show right now on the entertainment side. So we hope that you guys, after this, you guys jump over there. They're reviewing the challenge right now. So please check them out. Please check out, there's a link to all the stuff that we have been doing here on the Wrestling Review Show. We have not just Monday Night Raw. There's Eric Sultan. He's on Monday nights with, I'm sorry, your tag team partner. He's a terrible ref, judge when we do UPR battle. And I've let him know that it's a shame that people envy me because I have tremendous hair. So, and that's what I've learned over time. When people are against me, you have bad hair. So, but you can check out the Executive Consultant and Big Daddy, the coolest of the daddy. Well, the second coolest of the daddies, fifth coolest of the daddies on Monday night. You guys review everything on wrestling, but you guys go on midway on Monday Night Raw. You guys do a tremendous job. Also, you can check out Mike Knox on Monday Night Raw. You can also check out on Tuesdays if you guys want to check out NXT. It's me and the Wrestling Doll. We review everything on NXT. Wednesday, sometimes this guy is just trying to steal my gimmick, the Executive Consultant, because you are on Wednesdays, correct? Because you might be reviewing Dynamite. And on Thursdays, we have a top 5. We bring back here on Thursdays also, too. You have the Great Grand Poobah. You have Dan the Man. And somebody the Executive Consultant. We review Impact. And what are you guys doing on entertainment, please, Executive Consultant?
As I said earlier, next Tuesday we're doing Saw, and then Thursday we're doing Pacific Rim 2 before we get into our Jim Carrey movies, which I'm looking forward to. So that's what we're doing over on the side of UPRE.
See, I would have loved to join that, but I think y'all already reviewed the Headshot because I know y'all brought me on for 2 of those shit. Oh, no, reviews. I know he was a great Eggman. I'm sorry. I just thought he did a great job. And that's really the review. We are slowly bringing back UPR Gaming. Me and Caesar Superior, we're going to be doing Undercook. I see Jeffrey in the chat. He said, "You lost, Jack." Rude. Very, very rude. Matter of fact, Dan the Man, open the door. He's out of the Jetpack community because I don't have H-Man in there. You're out of the Jetpack community, Jeffrey. JPR, yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't cut me off.
Watching it. But I have some stuff to do. So, for the Great Grand Poobah, for Dan the Man, I am the Executive Consultant. We'll see you right here next time on Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody. You must be the only people that do an Impact Wrestling show and not talk about